Now. Okay, awesome. Recording has started. Hi, everyone. Sorry, before we begin, if you can also mute yourselves, that will be super helpful. And you can unmute and speak up when you want, when you have questions. But yeah, just to set some context, my name is Roshni. I am a product enablement specialist from Paperpal, and I'm super happy to be leading this session for you today. Before we get started and I talk more and share my screen, I hope I'm audible. You're able to hear me well and you're able to see me clearly. In case during the course of the session, if you have any questions, you can use the chat button at the top. You will be able to access the chat option where you can post your questions whenever I'm demonstrating, because I won't be able to see your chat immediately. However, I will try to answer as many questions I can about Paperpal and address it as much as I can. Of course, after the demo as well, we'll definitely be happy to take questions offline too. So with that said, let me set some context on what Paperpal is. So Paperpal, you can imagine it as a holistic academic writing assistant that can help you in every stage of your academic or research writing journey. Whether you are someone who has an idea and you want to get that writing juice flowing, or whether you are someone who has a draft manuscript in place and you want to write and cite within the same workflow, or whether you are someone who has this manuscript and you want to polish it, you want to enhance it further, and you want to run some pre-submission checks before you submit it to your journal, before you submit it to your peer reviewer, before you submit it to your colleagues, principal investigators, supervisors, Paperpal can help you in every stage of your academic writing journey. So with that said, let me go ahead and share my screen to also give you a quick explanation on how you can access the platform. Let me share my screen. If you can confirm that my screen is visible, that'll be super helpful vocally, or you can use the... Okay, great. Awesome, thank you. So you will receive a link from one of our POCs. So based on your authenticated email ID, you will receive a link to access the Paperpal platform. This is the screen that you will land on. If you are a new user, you can simply click on the sign up button here, where you can register with your authenticated email ID based on your institution, based on your organization. Fill this in, create your own password. You can fill your first name and last name and click on the agree to privacy policy and click on sign up. Post this, you will receive an OTP, a one-time password to your email ID. You simply need to enter that in the next screen and you will land within the product itself. So once you do that, once you verify using OTP from your email ID, from your registered email ID, you will land within Paperpal directly. It's pretty straightforward, and our POC will also be following up with a guide on how to go about this. So you can refer to the step-by-step instructions as well. Once you do this, you will land within Paperpal. This is your first layer within product. So as a new user, you will see a bunch of options on the left-hand side and you will see a few options on the right-hand side. Now, let me cover the left-hand side. So here you have a bunch of nifty features to help you get started. I'll cover this shortly because this is also available in other places within the product. But coming down to the bottom, if you are a new user, you can access your account information from here. Let's say you want to update your password, maybe you want to look at your plan or look at your subscription, you can go ahead and access your account information from the left-hand side pane here. If it is collapsed at any given point in time, you can access this particular menu icon and this particular window will open up. And especially if you are a new user, you might have some questions on how to go about using the product, in which case you can access the help center of Paperpal. You will have some FAQs, some common frequently asked questions accessible here. if you want to understand how to use a feature or a combination of features, you have YouTube video tutorials that are accessible here. If you're curious to understand what is new on Paperpal at any given point in time, you can access the product changelog here. Or if you are curious to also write to the customer support team at any given point in time, you can access these options here as a new user. So these are helpful resources to help you get started. And that's a little bit about the left-hand side. Coming to the right-hand side, now this is a simple onboarding widget at the top to help you explore some of the features within Paperpal. So there are checks, there's grammar, there's chat PDF, there's write, research, more, right? So this is the first layer within the product, a simple onboarding widget that can help you explore some of the features as a new user. So you can definitely click on each of these buttons and, the options will vary beneath each of the features as well. If you look at the bottom as a new user, you will see a simple tips and tricks guide or my first document. So each of these rectangles, each of these tiles are new web documents, which means during the course of this session, I will be explaining about Paperpal on Paperpal's web editor. And I'll show you how this looks like shortly as well. Paperpal is available on web. And if you are someone who uses Microsoft Word for your academic writing journey predominantly, Paperpal is also available as an add-in on Microsoft Word. I'll show how that looks like as well during the course of this session. But throughout the demo, I will be showcasing Paperpal's web editor version. So if you want to get started, you can click on the tips and tricks guide and look at some of the ways to get started. If you want to get started from scratch, all you need to do is simply click on new web document. If you just have an idea and you don't know where to begin and you're starting from a blank page, this is the right button for you. The same option is also available on the left-hand side. If you already have something on Microsoft Word and you want to import it onto the web editor, you can also import your Word document from here. And if you are someone who has used Paperpal or you have started creating documents on Paperpal, you will have multiple rectangles or tiles like this one. So here I have created multiple documents from my end. So as an existing user, you will see each of these as a separate web document. And one more important difference here is you will see some of them will have a document icon and some of them will have a two-person icon. This simply means that if you are the sole author of a document and if a document is something that only you are working on, you will see just this icon, which means the web document is only visible to you. However, if you want to invite collaborators to work with you on your document, if you want to invite co-authors, if you want to invite your colleagues or peers and ask them to work with you on your document, you can share up to 5 collaborators and you will see the shared person icon. So you can also navigate between all documents and shared documents from here. You can also search for the respective document name from here. Each of these represent a separate web document. And that's a little bit about the right-hand side. Now, if I want to create a new web document, I can simply click on this and I will land on an interface that looks like this. So this is how Paperpal would look like if you're starting from scratch. At the bottom, you have a bunch of nifty features to help you get started. Within Paperpal, you have multiple ways to access features, either from the bottom if you're starting from scratch, or you can hover your mouse on the right-hand side pane and you will be able to access the same features from here as well. These are the core features of Paperpal, and everything that you want to access is also available on the right-hand side pane. And if you are someone who is comfortable with keyboard shortcuts, you can simply type the / and the same features will also be available here. So here you can access multiple features of Paperpal in multiple ways. So I just wanted to share that. So based on your comfort level, feel free to use whichever option works for you. Now, if you're someone who's starting with scratch, you can use Paperpal's write feature. Within write, you have a bunch of preset prompts you have a bunch of preset ideas, whether you want to brainstorm, whether you want to write a particular section. You have these preset templates as well. If you want to type your own custom prompts and maintain a conversational thread, you can absolutely do that with Paperpal's write feature. And the best part, which we usually recommend that you also do is, let's say you have a bunch of handwritten notes. Maybe you have handwritten notes like this one. Maybe you have infographics like this one. Maybe you have your research notes on Microsoft Word. Maybe you have a reference paper as a PDF. You have a literature matrix on Excel or data on Excel. Any type of file. You can collate.
Can I interrupt, Rosny, because we have a question regarding if they can connect Notebook LM to import our libraries or notes.
No, that will not be possible. But so if you have your notes in any other file formats, so I'm just coming to that shortly. If you have this particular content in any of these formats, you can upload it here.
And how long the uploaded info will be available, and how much info can be uploaded in once? I mean, in space or yeah, or.
So just adding clarity there, you can upload up to 5 files in one chat. And you can also use your current documents context, which I'll communicate shortly. So you can upload up to 5 files, and each of the files can be up to 25 MB per file.
Great.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I think so. Let me clarify that we can answer all the questions or address all the questions at the end of your presentation, Rovni, you are agree, or do you want me to interrupt? Because I think it's better to wait till the end.
Sure, we can wait till the end in case your questions might already get answered during the presentation, which is why I also recommend towards the end. Yeah.
Thank you. Keep going. Thanks.
Thank you, Leonard. All right. So with the write feature, to show you how this works, right? If you have any handwritten note like this one, maybe you have infographics, maybe you have lecture presentations in PowerPoint, you can attach different file formats here, whether this is a PDF, whether this is a Word document, PowerPoint, Excel, images. So all these different file formats are supported here, and you can use it in different ways, right? To show you an example, I'm just uploading, I have an experiment log here that is handwritten. I have some research notes on Word, and I have a reference paper in PDF. I have different formats here. I'm just choosing this to show you an example. I can attach these file types here, and here I can make my prompt as detailed as possible, which I absolutely recommend you do. I'm giving a simple prompt here, but you can make it as detailed and pointed. Extract 5 key insights from my source file. So I'm just keying in a simple prompt here, and in the backend, what Paperpal does is it tries to collate insights from the 3 files. And not just that, I've also uploaded a handwritten file. So it also transcribes that and helps me get detailed insights based on my question. So I can read through this. I can review it. I can also, copy paste it in a different place if I want, or if I'm interested to continue further, I can ask a follow-up. And I get these preset prompts to expand, contrast, and more. So I can also use this, or I can ask my own personal follow-up question. If I'm satisfied with the output at any given point in time, you can place your cursor and simply insert it onto your manuscript. So this is one way to just brainstorm. Write is basically used to help you build on your ideas and start writing and not get stuck with a blank page syndrome. And in that way, write is particularly useful. And there are different use cases as well, whether you have feedback transcripts and you want actionable suggestions, whether you want to brainstorm on a particular idea. So write can be used for that initial writing block phase. And that's about right. But let's say you are in a stage where you have a draft like this in place. So I just have a sample manuscript here. I want to enhance this and polish this further. And I also want to write and cite within the same workflow. If I am in this stage, I can, of course, go ahead and use Paperpal's research and cite feature first, and then I'll come to the polishing features. So within research and cite, this is a super powerful feature where you can ask a research question in natural language, and you will get AI curated answers to your research queries. And not just that, if you ask a question, you will get AI answers backed by academic citations. And I'll show how that works shortly as well. But these academic citations also come from a corpus of 250 million plus scholarly publications. And this is powered by another product of ours called R Discovery. So this 250 million plus corpus comprises of journal articles, 40 million plus open access papers, one of the largest open access repositories out there, conference papers, preprints, and more. So it's not just limited to one format, but rather across different scholarly publication formats. And one more important thing to also address here is you don't have to worry about predatory journals being here. Paperpal, which is part of Cactus Communications. Cactus has been in the academic industry for 24 years now. And based on our partnership with some of the top publishing houses and aggregators out there, this particular corpus is powered. And you can see that it's updated on a day-to-day basis. So you don't have to worry about outdated literature as well. This particular feature can help you keep up with the latest, most relevant literature to your subject area and also cite within the same workflow. Let me show you an example. So here I can ask a research question if I want. I can also cite using existing text. Now, let's say I have a paragraph here and maybe I want to use this as a reference and find relevant citations. I can use this particular tab here. Or if I want to independently find papers, search for papers using keywords, title, or DOI, I have 3 different tabs for 3 different purposes. To ask a research question, I'm just taking an example here in the interest of time. I can go ahead and frame my research query in natural language as well. Before I ask a question, I also have the option to apply filters to refine my search further. Whether I want open access, I can switch on this toggle or switch off this toggle. Whether I want my academic citations to come from certain journal quartiles, right? I can select that. Whether I want certain publication dates, publication type, whether I want my journal to be indexed in certain, Web of Science or Scopus, my institution country. So I can give those filters before I ask a research question as well to get better results. So here I'm just asking a simple question on what are the key applications of gene editing. So here I get an answer, an AI answer, and I can scroll down. I will get academic citations supporting my AI answers. And if I scroll down, I will also get supporting papers. Now, within these citations itself, it's also super important to understand whether these are hallucinations or not, right? I want to add and say that within Paperpal, you will be able to click on the academic citations. You will be able to see the document type. You will see whether it's open access or not, whether it, how many citations it has, what is the name, who are the authors, when was it published, which journal was it published in. You'll be able to copy DOI if you want to deep dive further. You can also read through the abstract as well. So each of these are actual scholarly citations. So you can go ahead and click on them and verify it from your end, which we absolutely recommend you to. So you can go ahead and also copy the DOI and deep dive further if you want. Here you'll be able to read the abstract. And if you scroll down at the bottom, you will have additional citations based on your text. Based on your question as well, you can maintain a follow-up thread here. If you don't get, if you want to add to your research question and ask a follow-up question and maintain a thread, you'll be able to do that. If you scroll down at the bottom, you also get supporting papers. Now, you will get the same abstract option, abstract view here. If you click on this, you will be able to deep dive into the paper as well. I want to talk a little bit about these options, right? So for some of the papers, you will see the chat option. And for some of the papers, you will see an upload PDF option. This simply means that if a paper is open access and covered under CC BY license, you will be able to chat with the papers directly. And this functionality is similar to Paperpal's chat PDF functionality, which I will demonstrate shortly. So you will be able to chat with the PDF directly from here. It will take you to the chat PDF interface, which I'll show. In case you don't have the chat option, you can, of course, upload your own PDFs or upload the relevant PDFs and also chat with it. If this paper is of interest to you, you're reading through the abstract and you think this might be useful for you at a later point in time, maybe you don't have time to deep dive right now, you can always add it to your Paperpal library. You'll get this pop-up. and the library is accessible from the top right corner at any given point in time. So you can start building on your corpus as and when you ask the research question and try to understand the existing literature for your relevant topic. Now, let's say you want to write and cite within the same workflow. You can simply place your cursor wherever you want, whether at the end of the paragraph or in between paragraphs. If you find something relevant, you can click on cite, and you will have the option to choose from 10,000 plus citation styles. Now, let's say I want APA for now. I'm going to just simply click on insert, and it will directly get inserted onto my document. And now let's say I have, I want to add citations based on my paragraph. I can also highlight the relevant paragraph and click on cite text and click on search from here, or I have the same option available inline as well. So this and this works in the same way. So I can simply click on cite. What Paperpal is doing in the backend is it's also trying to understand my text and match it with this 250 million plus corpus. So here I can go ahead and cite even as a group if I want. So if I find something relevant, I can cite as I write, right? So I'll also be able to sort this based on publishing date or citation count. In case I want to cite directly from my library here, whatever I'm saving at the top right corner, right? If I want to cite from my library, I also have the option to do the same from here as well. And the best part about this particular feature is, as and when you add citations, if I scroll down at the bottom, you will also get a handy references section. And let's say you want to choose a different citation style and apply it consistently across your document based on your journal guidelines, you will be able to change your citation style from here. Let's say I want IEEE, for example. I will be able to select IEEE, and the same will be applied across my document consistently. So the same citations are changed now. The citation style option is also available within research and cite as well, in case you want to change or explore from the 10,000 plus citation styles. And that's a little bit about research and cite, where you can write and cite within the same workflow. Now, if you are in the stage where you have written a manuscript, but you want to rewrite it better, you want to paraphrase, you want to make something sound more academic, or maybe you have a technical paragraph and you want to simplify it, this is basically your polishing stage. So for that, within Paperpal, you have the rewrite, edit, and checks feature, which I want to talk about right now. So let's say, I have a paragraph here. I have an introduction paragraph that's quite simple for journal standards, and I want to make this sound more academic. I can simply select the relevant paragraph. I can choose Paperpal's rewrite from the right-hand side pane, and I can choose make academic tone. So there are different options here based on your need. You can choose the right mode for you. If you want to simplify a complicated paragraph so it's accessible to a wider audience, you can go for the simplify mode. If you have an abstract, that's too wordy and maybe you want to match journal guidelines and reduce or trim it further, you can use the trim mode. If you want to find synonyms for a certain word, you can go ahead and use the synonyms option. So there are different modes within rewrite based on your use case. This will change. Here I have a simple paragraph and I want to make this sound more academic. I can simply hit generate and Paperpal will give me an output. I can read through it, I can review it, I can compare it. If I'm satisfied, I can go ahead and directly replace it. If I am not satisfied, I have the option to retry and ask Paperpal to do that again. If I want to store it somewhere else, if I want to copy paste it somewhere else, I have the option to do that. And you can also toggle between different modes here. Let's say you don't want make academic and you want to simply paraphrase or simplify or improve fluency, improve the readability of your sentence. You can go ahead and toggle between different modes. Here, if I'm satisfied with the output, I can simply hit replace and the paragraph will be updated automatically. This is one of the ways you can also rewrite or rephrase paragraphs, and adding there, even if you have academic citations like this one, you can absolutely go ahead and select it and also rewrite. It won't change. Even if you have these citations, if you have any abbreviations, academic nuances, that won't change. Only your text will be rewritten to enhance it further. Just wanted to add that with Paperpal's rewrite feature. if you're also in the stage where you want to apply some academic language suggestions suitable for journal standards, you can use Paperpal's edit feature. Now, within edit, you have two tabs. You have the language tab and you have the consistency tab. Covering the language tab first, this basically suggests academic language suggestions. It gives you categorized suggestions that you can click on, read, review, see if it makes sense, and accept or reject based on your subject matter expertise. So here you will find options to accept as a group or accept individually as well. So you can go ahead and choose that. Each of these suggestions are also indicated by the red squiggle that you see here. The red underlines that you see here are basically academic language suggestions. So you can click on it, review it. If it doesn't make sense to you, you can of course reject it. Even if you click on the word individually, it will give you a categorized explanation. And that's about the language suggestions, where you have tense usage, subject verb agreement, verb form, conventions, word choice. So there are multiple categories that will show up based on your manuscript. Now, the consistency feature particularly is extremely useful when you're working with a deadline, and maybe on Microsoft Word, you might be doing a find and replace. You might be doing a Control F, or trying to find common words and apply consistency across your document. In that scenario, the consistency tab is particularly useful. Here, it is flagging 4 inconsistencies based on my manuscript. There is a p-value inconsistency where I've used P as uppercase in certain areas and P as lowercase in certain areas. So I can go ahead and choose a consistent style and fix it across my document in one click. If I have a symbol spacing inconsistency, there is a percentage symbol inconsistency. So here I can go ahead. I can go ahead and choose no space. All right. Sorry, is there a question?
No, I think someone is talking.
Got it. Noted. All right. So there is a symbol spacing inconsistency. So whether you want no space, whether you want a single space, you can choose the right style and fix it across your document. There is a figure label inconsistency where I've used the figure and the abbreviation incorrectly. There is a word form or a prefix consistency issue. So all of these are different types of issue, and not just this. Based on your manuscript, the suggestions that show up here will also differ. Now, if you are someone who is using Word predominantly and you don't want to individually click on each of these suggestions to accept or reject them, you can also download the whole suggestion list as track changes on Microsoft Word. The option is available here. So you can simply click on this to download the suggestions once you have a draft manuscript in place and you want to carry it forward on Microsoft Word. The same option is also available here under download file. Under the 3 dots, you have the download with track changes option here as well. Now, once you've used the edit rewrite, especially the rewrite function, I also want to talk a little bit about the responsible use of AI, which we recommend across all our sessions. For this, let's say you are writing your manuscript and you're using Paperpal AI to assist you in different ways. You can click on this 3 options, more options here. You can click on the 3 button and you can simply switch on the AI footprint toggle. Now, what this does is it gives you a subtle green highlight on wherever Paperpal AI assisted you. Now, to give you an example, we just rewrote the paragraph here using the rewrite feature. So Paperpal AI can help you maintain that authorship transparency while you're writing, especially if you're writing across different time periods and you want to understand where Paperpal AI helped you and where you have written with your own voice. You will be able to switch on or switch off this toggle at any given point in time to have full control. So if this is distracting for you, you can of course switch off the toggle. Wherever you are contributing, if you switch on the toggle and wherever you are editing, the basic green highlight will disappear. So I just wanted to show that. And to add on to another responsible AI use aspect, let's say you have used any AI tool. A lot of journals, institutions recommend that you disclose the AI usage responsibly. And for this, within Paperpal, under templates, you have something called AI disclosure templates. So here you will have student ready templates and you will have specific templates for journal submission. So you can click on read more, whether you are a student submitting for coursework, essays, or theses, whether you are submitting to journals, you will have different kinds of templates. So based on your journal guidelines, whether you need to place your disclosure within a particular section, acknowledgement section, or towards the end between your methods and some other section, you can simply place your cursor wherever you want within your manuscript. You can read and review the template. So here there are publisher specific templates as well. So you can click on the template that's relevant for your particular submission, read through it. You will also have the respective publisher's disclosure policy, which we recommend you absolutely deep dive and also check from your end. Place your cursor and simply click on insert. So this is for journal submission. Of course, you also have student specific templates where you can go ahead and edit this particular disclosure template. So you can say I used AI tools, including Paperpal, ChatGPT, or any tool that you're using, and for what you're using it for. Whether you're using it to paraphrase, you can take the purposes that are mentioned here. You can select it and insert it as well, or you can copy paste from here as well, whether you're using it for paraphrasing or outlining or brainstorming. So you can go ahead and mention and edit the disclosure template as per your need. And this is something that I wanted to show with regard to responsible AI usage as well, something that we recommend you do. Now that's a little bit about edit and rewrite, but coming to the checks feature. Now, when you're in a stage where you have polished, where you have enhanced, before you take it to your peer reviewer or your supervisor, you can go ahead and use the AI review within Paperpal. So this basically acts as a feedback mechanism feature where it can review your manuscript and give you a feedback based on your custom prompt or based on preset prompts. So there are a bunch of preset prompts here as well. You can click on explore all ideas, whether this is scientific soundness or whether you want, peer reviewer type feedback, or maybe you have just an introduction section, maybe you have just a few paragraphs and you want to get custom feedback, pointed feedback. You can key in your own specific prompts as well and get a personalized feedback. So here I'm just showing you how check the scientific soundness of my particular document would look like. Now, what AI review is useful for is it acts, it provides feedback in a categorized manner based on my prompt. It also gives me the location of where the particular text can be improved. It gives me a before, after, it gives me an assessment rating. So based on the prompt, the kind of feedback, the format of your feedback would also vary. So here it's giving me an executive summary, it gives me an assessment, it gives me a rationale, it gives me a location, or it gives me the location of the particular paragraph, whether there is an actionable suggestion required. In certain cases, it also gives me a before and after version and why that particular suggestion makes sense. And it also gives me categorized insights on novelty and contribution clarity, or research question or hypothesis. Wherever there is improvement, it also shares that. So this is a good way to get that feedback and maybe see if it makes sense to you before you share it with your colleagues as well. At any given point in time, if you want to save the feedback and access it later, you can click on the save button. The saved feedbacks are accessible from the top right corner. If you're not satisfied with the current feedback, you can always click on restart. Now that's a little bit about AI review feature. Another check that I want to talk about is the plagiarism check, where you can get a detailed similarity check on your document. Your document is scanned against an extensive database of 99 billion web pages, including 200 million open access research articles. So you can check plagiarism for an existing document. You can upload a new Word or a PDF document. And in case, you want to purchase more words, you have the option to do that here. Within the paid version, you have 10,000 words per month. So in case you want words beyond that within a month, you can go ahead and buy more words. This 10,000 words gets replenished every month. To show you an example of how this report would look like, right? Let me pull that up. So your plagiarism report would look something like this. So you'll get an overall similarity percentage at the top right corner. You'll also get color-coded highlights here where you can click on it and review it. If you want to exclude this text from the plagiarism checking, you can also do that from here or from here. So you'll get these color-coded highlights and you can navigate it across your document, especially if you want to filter out before you perform from this report, right? You can also filter out bibliography, quotes, citations, or small matches and simply click on done. So this will also change your score accordingly if that's something that you want to apply. And you can click on each of these. It will navigate to the specific portion of the document. If you want to download the report, you can click on the bottom left share button. You have the download option right here. And that's a little bit about the plagiarism check. Pretty straightforward as a feature. The next check that I want to talk about within the Paperpal checks feature is the AI detector, and also cover the journal submission check. So the AI detector helps you not as a policing or a judgment tool, but to understand where AI could have potentially influenced your writing and what you can do about it. To get that sort of transparency, the AI detector was also built. So you can run AI detection on your existing document, or you can also click on go to AI detection page. That would land you on an interface that looks like this. Here you can type or paste your text here. You can also upload your Word document up to 25 MB or up to 10,000 words, and you can check for AI. And to show you an example of how a report would look like, so I have uploaded this here. It takes a couple of minutes to run. Once that is done, you will get an overall AI writing identified score and a verdict here. And you will also get sentence level insights and scoring. So here you will get a writing pattern breakdown with color-coded highlights. So if I hover my mouse on top of each of the sentences, I get a particular categorized tag, whether it is AI written. If I click on it, it will navigate to the AI written portion, whether it is a human AI blend, whether it has high AI impact, whether it has medium AI impact, whether it has low AI impact. So that way, whether something is human written, I can also hover my mouse on top of the particular sentence and I will be able to get that tag as well. So if you're interested in understanding more about the writing pattern breakdown, you can also click on the small question mark here. It will give you the writing pattern breakdown as well. And if you want to download the report, you can download it from here. If you want to run another scan, you can do that as well. If you want to check for potential grammar or plagiarism for this particular content itself, you can do that from here too. So you can check it from here as well. And that's a little bit about AI detection check on Paperpal. Another interesting check is the journal submission check. Here, you can upload your Word document, you can upload your PDF, you can upload your manuscript here. And what this basically does is it runs your manuscript against 30 plus technical checks that are common to journals, not for a specific journal, but common to journal standards. It runs your manuscript against these checks, whether your manuscript has an ethics statement, whether you have included table, legends or figure legends, whether there's a list of keywords. So all of these will be checked against your manuscript, and you will get a report that will come with track changes. So you can download this report. And to show you an example of what this might look like, you'll get a table of contents here on missing author list. So I have missing author contribution. So all of these will appear as a table of contents, and within my manuscript itself, I will get this sort of comment from Paperpal on what can be improved. So that's a little bit about the journal submission check. And this is also a good segue for me to let you know that Paperpal is also available on Word, on Microsoft Word. Based on your IT policy, IT admin, this will automatically be loaded onto your Microsoft Word based on the authenticated IT admin or IT access. You can click on add-ins. From my add-ins, you can simply click on Paperpal to access it. So this is how you can access Paperpal on Word. The same options are available on the right-hand side pane. Now, before I actually come to the end, I want to show how the chat PDF functionality works apart from all this, and I'll definitely take questions that we have. So within Paperpal, we were also talking about how you can chat with your own papers, and within Research Insight, we also saw that some of the papers to show you an example, we saw some of the papers have the chat option or the upload PDF option. So this is my library that I have. Some of the papers have chat. I'll also be able to edit citations. I'll be able to upload my own PDFs. I'll also be able to add my own manual citations. So this is from the library. But in case I want to upload my own PDFs or chat directly, I can click on chat PDF functionality from the right-hand side pane. And I will get this particular menu. I can click on Get Started. This will take me to this interface where I can click on Get Started and upload my files. Once I do that, I will land on an interface that looks like this. So my PDF will be loaded here. And the best part about Chat PDF is also that you don't have to just upload one PDF. If you expand the sidebar, you will have the option to add up to 10 files here, 10 PDFs here. You can also select or deselect and get selective insights. So you will be able to collapse this, expand on your PDF, ask questions directly with your PDF. So here I have a bunch of preset prompts, like what are the main arguments made across the study, provide a summary of methods section. These are general prompts that are given here. I can also go ahead and, ask specific questions in paragraph or in section 1.1. What is the insight that I can get? There are multiple pointed ways to prompt. So if you have anything specific, anything custom, you can go ahead and ask that here. It's a very robust feature. Here I've asked about some of the key premises and assumptions in the study. So it gives me detailed insights. And the best part about this is it will come with these numbered green markers. So if I want to verify that there are no hallucinations and actually look at the content from the PDF, I can click on the green markers here. It will take me to the particular portion of the PDF from where that insight is generated and highlighted. So this way, there'll be multiple green markers across my insight that I can click, and then it'll take me to the actual PDF that I can then read and verify. I can ask a follow-up question here as well. And I'll also be able to get a quick summary of the PDF. If I want to look at related papers related to that particular PDF, I can, of course, navigate between these options. Another use case is also if you want to compare or synthesize insights across different PDFs. If you want a literature matrix, you'll be able to get different versions here. You can play with the workspace. You can simply have your chat open. You'll be able to, access just your chat here. You'll also be able to take notes side by side. So if you find something interesting, you can always add it to an existing Paperpal document, or you can create a new note or a new Paperpal document. So if you click on a new note, it'll open a particular interface where you can simply copy and paste your notes. So the note-taking functionality is also available. You can also close this or expand or collapse this as per your need. So that's a little bit about the chat PDF functionality where you can directly interact with your PDFs. And with that, I think we've come to the end of the presentation. Let me stop sharing and check if we have questions on chat.
Yes, maybe we can start with this one where the user asks if the database is only built with open access publications.
No, you have paywalled articles as well, but the abstract will be available. You won't get access to the full content. If you have institutional access, it is accessible through a different product. However, within Paperpal, you can access paywalled articles as well, just the abstract version.
Thank you. Can they organize by projects or folders?
Great question. And this is something that's already on the roadmap, and the changes are coming really soon where you can organize your library. It's been a long pending ask from our users, so you will definitely hear more on this. Right now, it's not available, but it's coming soon.
About the confidentiality, I think Juan Carlos has replied, but if you want to mention, because they are asking if the files and info they upload can be used to trial the tool and how they use by other users.
Got it. I want to be very clear on this, and I will also maybe paste the data security link here. But Paperpal does not use your documents to train our models, to train our data. And Cactus as an industry has been, Cactus as a company has been in the industry, in the academic industry for 24 years. So we understand the, the hesitation here. We take our ethical policies very seriously. And if you are interested in also understanding about the data security policies, I'm just pasting the link on chat. Your document is only visible to you. We have also a strict deletion policy for different features. And if at any point in time you want to delete your data, you can, of course, do that. You can definitely write to us. We don't use your document for training our models. I hope that answers the question.
Yes, I think so. They are also asking about importing the EndNote, Mendeley, Zotero.
Yes, great question, and something we hear often as well. Right now, within Paperpal's web editor, you won't be able to import from your reference managers. You do have an option to export the library citations in different formats to integrate with your reference managers. However, within Microsoft Word, you will be able to import your Zotero citations and convert them to Paperpal citations. You have that option. And yes, this is an ask, and this is something on the roadmap already, but it is not available right now.
Thank you. So, and for the chat PDF feature, can they organize the uploaded PDF by topic and work on different papers across the different files with a leader or not reference overlap?
So right now you can't organize it by different projects or folders. The library piece that I was talking about, which is going to come soon, will solve for some of this.
Thank you. And another question is, how reliable is the AI writing recognition pattern on imported documents edited by other AIs?
Not sure I follow the question. How reliable is the AI writing recognition pattern? You mean the AI detection?
I think the AI detector. The AI detector.
Right, got it. So we have used proprietary, we have built the AI detection model from scratch. So this is something that we are very passionate about. And recently we also made improvements to the model. So we can tell that it is almost 80 to 90% accurate. However, from my end, I also want to share a general overview of AI detectors, right? For the longest time, there have been a lot of false positives across different AI detectors. So I wouldn't consider using AI detection itself as a guideline. Rather, I think the institutional or journal policies are also moving from AI detection as a concept more towards disclosure as a concept. We built the AI detector because, of course, our users had a ask for it and we wanted to give that to them. That said, rather than just relying on an AI detector, I would say use it as a guidance to enhance or change certain aspects of your document. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, and another one regarding plagiarism. If they use Paperpal plagiarism checks, could it affect future checks with authenticate used by many journals? They are concerned maybe influencing similarity results later.
Got it. So in Paperpal, the feature that we use in the backend is Turnitin sim check. So we do use that, and we recommend using that as an initial plagiarism, and it can help you compare your manuscript. For the Turnitin sim check feature, authenticate is something that is more advanced. That is something that we are working on integrating. Right now, we use a sim check feature, and it shouldn't ideally interfere with authenticate use case.
Okay. Also, if we are compatible with LaTeX.
Yes, we are currently not compatible with LaTeX on this particular version, but this is something that I've already shared as feedback, considering the demand from our previous session. So definitely you will hear more on this while we add it to the roadmap.
But we can integrate overleaf using LaTeX.
Yeah, I think, right now it's not available. Right now it's not available on Paperpal.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. Here is this. That is a theory, but I can ask other AIs to remove AI-specific writing patterns.
Sorry, what the? What is the question? That is a theory, but I can
The
ask other
theory, but
AIs to
I can
remove.
ask other AIs to
AI.
remove AI-specific writing patterns. I don't know. what that
Not
means.
not sure. Yeah, not sure. I would say, it's important to understand the use case of that. To remove AI writing patterns in itself is generally something, maybe rather than removing AI patterns, you can say disclose it. That's what journals and publishers are recommending.
So another user say, thank you for the presentations. 2 questions. Is the interaction between chat PDF and the main Word document possible?
Interaction between chat PDF and main Word document. Interesting use case. I think I might need more clarity on the question. So if you can follow up with your particular use case, I can definitely get back on that.
Thank you.
I'm not able to understand the integration right now, but if you have a use case, we would love to check that out.
Yeah, okay. And the difference between the journal submission check and the single checks you do with the other commands, such as grammar checks.
What's it? So journal submission check. Oh, okay, got it. So journal submission check doesn't just have a grammar, right? It doesn't give you just the potential grammar issues. It gives you an overall view across your manuscript, across the 30 plus technical checks that I spoke about. The individual grammar suggestion that you get is a lot more robust. So there are different modes, like I mentioned about consistency. Those sort of individual checks will only appear under grammar. That won't be part of the overall journal submission checks. Within journal, general grammar will be checked. Within the specific grammar option, edit option, you will get language and consistency, and there are different modes within that as well. That's the sole difference.
Okay, can we remind the email for the help to the users if they have some requests from help, because they are asking for an email contact? Is help at
Sure.
Paperpal?
Hello at
hello.
paperpal.com. I've just added
okay.
that.
Great. So what about this? Can you read it? What about helping the extract information from MS Word tables?
Got it. So helping to extract information from Microsoft Word tables or figures to text for the results section. Maybe adding there, you will be able to add insert tables on the Paperpal web editor itself. You'll be able to add images as well. You will be able to copy paste images, add captions to images within Paperpal's web editor. You can download that as a Microsoft Word file overall. I'm not sure what is the use case of extracting information from Word tables, but maybe adding additionally there as well. Chat PDF does support tables generally. And the right feature, of course, within Paperpal will support images and tables.
Great. So here the last question, is it possible to define the journal and then write the manuscript following its guidance to authors?
Excellent question. Something we also understand is a growing need. Right now, the workaround I can suggest is within Paperpal, write feature, and there is also something called outlines within Paperpal's template feature. What you can do there is you can attach your journal style guide as a file or as a supporting file and prompt Paperpal to actually, give you certain specific guidelines on formatting and then build from there. This is the workaround that we have right now, and we understand it's a need, but no, right now you don't have a direct feature to format your manuscript to journal standards. We do have a separate service that helps you do this if you're interested. It's a paid separate service within Cactus.
Thank you, Rosny. I think it has been a very complete presentation and seminar. I think we can keep answering any questions that users may have at hello@paperpal.com. So I think we can finish here the presentation. Many thanks for everything. And this is it. Raul, if you can share the presentation recording with us, I will share it with Cecic and then can be visible for all the users that may need.
Yep, sure. We will share the recording with you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Great questions. And hopefully you have some interesting takeaways from the session as well. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, Rosny. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.